Hello Canterbury and welcome to Canterbury Live on Monday the 9th of November. I'm Andrea Allen and thank you so much for joining us today. It's a huge week this week in Canterbury, isn't it? And we'll get into a bit more of that as well. Have you seen the latest style? Isn't it a bit lovely? Very funky. Look at that cover there. It's very cool indeed. Everything you need to know about the whole cup fever is in it. If you don't get a copy, just call through to Star Media and we can direct you where you can get yours. But it's a fab magazine and it's a bit of a who's who. You know, the social pages are out there and about and taking those snippy snaps and stuff like that. But anyway, what happened on this day, 9th of November? Well, first up, you can hear it now, such a beautiful song, John Lennon, Imagine. John Lennon actually met Yoko Ono today at an avant-garde art exhibition at Indica Gallery in London. Apparently from the first moment he met Yoko, he knew that he would marry her. A little tricky thing, he was married at the time. And Yoko did manage to wiggle her way in. And of course they had a wonderful marriage afterwards. How it got there was probably not the flashiest, but you know, they loved each other. Next up, Heineken. We all know about the Heineken beer. Well, there he is. Amsterdam brewer Freddie Heineken was kidnapped as well as his driver in 1983 by three chaps. Now, they took him to a very remote, basically it was a cupboard, it was so small, but they did end up paying out the ransom, but the kidnappers were caught only a few days later, but a little bit scary and, you know, not that long ago, 83, it's not that long ago. And last but not least, 2 years later, 1985, huge. Sir Richard Hadley, who was Richard then, took 9 wickets for 52 at the Gabba in Australia. It was a huge, huge queue, and there he goes in full energy. Well done, Sir Richard. Very cool time in history. Rightio, giveaways, we love our books, and hey, the holidays are coming up and it's great to have some new material. We'll start off first with the queen of kick-ass crime, Janet Ivankovich, and her book Tricky 22. Very easy reading, a bit of fun. Next to it, talking about fun, remember Cold Feet? Yes? Well, the writer is a BAFTA award-winning program, Trust by Mike Bullen. Another easy read, really funny, had a lot of laughs throughout it, and easy reading. Above it though, Hoyt's James Bond. Love to go along and see old James Bond, the latest movie. You could go courtesy of the Hoyt's team. And last but not least, it is November, and this wonderful painting from Ira Mitchell-Kirk. It's just a bit lovely, could adorn your business or your home, or you might even want to gift it. Now to enter, all you need to do is call through on our phone number, so it's 03 364 7430, or go to our website ctv.co.nz to our competition page. Simple as that. Rightio, coming up on today's show, tomorrow it is the Cup. The Harness Racing Cup, yes, happening at Addington, and we have the cup right here in the flesh, I know. The lovely Michael Gorman joins me from the City Mission. Some wonderful things happening at the moment, and they will be at the show this year. Alex joins me from Tech Bikes. I had some great fun out on the road with Alex, but first up, it is time for Nicola Freya before we head into the Nourish Kitchen. Hello, Nicola.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
You're looking radiant.
Oh, it's so beautiful out there.
Is it melon? What colour's that, love?
I think we'll call it melon.
Tangerine. Tangerine. Do you have a lovely weekend?
It does, yes. Very relaxing.
Oh, it's good to have relaxing weekends before it gets to the crazy season.
Yeah, it's warming up, isn't it?
It is,
yeah.
it is. Now, tell us, there's some wonderful new guidelines that have been introduced for adults for eating.
So the Ministry of Health have just released them, the Eating and Activity Guidelines. So it's different from what over the many, many years, we now have had eating guidelines, guidelines for a healthy diet, but they've seen that the activity is so important also that they've included them as part of this. Because they've seen that the stats behind what are the risk factors for poor health in general, lack of activity, poor diet and obesity are in the top 5 of those. The other 2 are smoking and high blood pressure, which you would know would be in the top ones as well. But because those 3 things are so important, that was key to have some guidelines that just included the whole package.
I mean, a very impressive thing to actually put that together.
Yeah.
But who are they aiming at then, Nicola?
So this big chunky booklet here, you're not going to sit down and read that in 5 minutes, and that's really directed more for the health industry. Anyone who's working with people's health, might be your GP, your dietitian, or anyone really who can recommend a healthier lifestyle for general health. But don't
wait,
fret.
there's more. Oh, that looks
This is the
more digestible, isn't it?
version for the general public, and at the end we're going to put up a link of where people can get this. But this just gives you all the details, and this is a bit of light reading over a cup of tea one afternoon. It gives everything you need to know.
If the website is cph.co.nz, that's really easy.
Yes,
I like those websites.
And if you just go onto the resources section of that, and then you can just type in healthy eating, active living.
That's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's good to have those tools to help us along the way.
Yeah.
So so I'm going to put on the spot there. That's a wonderful volume of work there.
Yes.
But what is the overall message that they're trying to get us through?
Yeah. Well, of course, you'll see there's a lot in there.
Yeah, there's a lot.
But generally, healthy eating, a big thing about that they really factored in this time was go for fresh, go for wholesome foods, go for whole foods, rather than once you start getting into prepackaged foods and foods that have bits and pieces added, that's when you've got your sodium and your sugar and your fats being added. So if you can pull it back to as much fresh, frozen or canned things that don't have too much salt added and that sort of thing, that's where the most of your diet should come from. And then trying to be active each day, trying to just make sure you add that into your life. You don't have to go to the gym for a couple of hours. You don't have to organise it in a huge way. Just try and add that into your general life, like taking the stairs up a floor instead of the lift, carrying your groceries inside rather than having them delivered, or that sort of thing. Yeah.
Simple things.
Yeah.
So making realistic goals, is that the key too, Nicola, do you think?
Yeah, definitely.
Sitting for long periods, now there's a lot of, now we have these days call centres, don't we? There's a lot of call centres and a lot of office-based jobs. Yeah. Well, they could be actually fixed to the seat for quite a long time. There must be health risks surely in that.
Yeah, well, the research actually shows even if you're an active person and you do exercise, it still can have detrimental effects on your health to then be going to work and sitting for an 8-hour day without getting up. So when the research first came out, it seemed a bit odd that you would get up and wander around the office every hour just to sort of have that activity. But it actually can really benefit your health if you're regularly just getting up and just have a wander around the office, go outside for 5 minutes. Just try and do that because it really can have health benefits.
And I guess not bagging on the smokers, but smokers know when to take their breaks.
Yes.
If you're a non-smoker, you tend to work through it, don't you?
Yeah.
I think that's it. Hey, I'm very excited about the recipe this week because it's actually one of my favourites, lab. Pork lab, a bit divine, isn't it?
Yeah.
And easy.
It's so easy, and we've got lots of lettuce and herbs in this one. Sometimes when you go out and you have it, it's sort of mainly the meat dish with a little bit of lettuce, but add your veggies. You can add all sorts of vegetables to it, and it's delicious.
And it's a great one for the family.
Yeah.
You can dull out maybe the spices and things, or if you've got the chilli, you can go a little bit more.
You can.
So we'll have that on at the show tomorrow, that recipe anyway. But remember, with Nicola, of course, she has a fantastic Facebook page, very interactive. You love it, don't you, getting questions and answering?
Yeah.
As well as the website nourish.org.nz. But don't be afraid to ask Nicola a question. She loves it that you ask, and she can be of some help. We'll see you next week, sweetheart.
Thank
you. Now stay with us after the break. As promised, we do catch up with Michael Gorman, City Missioner, and Alex is here, maybe not on his bike, but definitely here from Tech Bikes. See you soon. Is back on, but we're actually hopping on a bike with 2 wheels today. Alex,
that's right.
This is very cool indeed. We're here in a lovely Kashmir to go for a bit of a bike ride. Tell me about the beautiful bike I've got here now.
Okay, so
from the awesome colour, thank you very much.
So this is a bike that we've modified. We've added the electric power onto it, and we've put on one of our torque controlled kits, which basically means that the riding experience feels very natural. The motor just reads off how much force you're putting into the cranks and it amplifies that power for you. So you can have up to 300% of the power that you're putting in coming out of the motor.
Wow, it's intelligent.
It is, that's right, and it makes the whole experience of riding it very nice and natural, but you can tackle a hill like Dyers Pass Road without even breaking a sweat.
We like that.
Yeah, and they're very easy to use. All we're going to turn it on here, we're just going to hold the power button down, and then it runs a wee self-diagnostic, and then we just tell it how much help we want. We can do between 30% and 300%, so I'm just putting it up to 300 there to help us up the hill.
So I don't want to use the word owl for lazy, but depending on what kind of mood or how you're feeling, could be before work, could be after work.
Exactly right. Let's say you're cycling to work, you don't want to turn up to work sweaty, there's no shower there. You can just put it on maximum assist on the way into work, have a dawdle, and then get plenty of exercise on the way home, have it on low assist. Yeah. Very
cool indeed, very intelligent. Well, I think we should hop on our bikes, literally, and hit the road.
Let's do it.
Oh. Okay, Alex, this is quite frightening how easy it is.
Yeah.
We're on Dyer's Pass.
Yeah. Not even sweating.
I know, we're talking. I mean, it's making maybe a real task fun.
Yeah, that's right. It's allowing you to get up here. It's sort of something that someone in their, like a really fit cyclist in their Lycra would do, and they'd be grinding away up here having a really hard time. And one of the things that people often say to us is they just use their bike so much more once they've got the power on there.
It's so smooth.
Yeah, well, that's one of the advantages of this type of controller, because it just feels really smooth and natural.
Good.
And you'll feel, if you put a bit more effort in, you'll feel the motor kicking in too.
Oh yeah. Woohoo! Alex, that was so much fun. Seriously, I mean, I was a little bit apprehensive thinking, oh, we're going to Dyer's Pass Road. Very busy road, but I felt completely safe and it was so easy.
Yeah, that's right. It can take like something like that that's a really hard slog and just make it enjoyable. And the thing is, because this is all adjustable, you can put in as much effort as you want. You can get as much exercise as you want, you know? And the other thing is you can choose, if you want to go on a really long ride, you can say, okay, I'm going to get my exercise now. Well, now I'm ready to stop. You don't have to stop riding.
Okay, let's talk about the bikes then. If we're sold on it, yeah, absolutely, this is something that's really going to enhance my life, my lifestyle. What should we do with cheap bikes?
Well, you've got a few options of what you can do. You can come in and you can get a bike like this, where we've built the bike up in our shop. This particular one will cost you about $2,700 to do. We can take your bike and we can put a kit onto it, and we can do that for about $1,800 fitted. Or you can buy like a high-end bike or an entry-level bike where everything's designed in. And those ones tend to be for more specific purposes, so we don't have quite as many different options with the built-in ones, but it is all designed into the frame and integrated, ready to go. So
I think the lovely thing is you can just come in and you've got a great team. You can talk us through what's going to work for us. We may have an idea, but when it comes down to it, it could be something.
Yeah, that's exactly right, and we can do a huge range of different types of bikes. We can get one that'll be exactly right for you, because what we want is people to get out on their bikes, so your bike's got to be right for you.
When we were coming up there, we noticed there was a few cyclists that were really struggling along. They were not enjoying themselves at all. Is that really what you're wanting to do for Canterburyans?
Well, there's certainly a few people who they want to feel the burn. They want it to be really hard, and that's great for them. But for most of us, we just want to have a good time. So what we can do is we can use something like this to allow us to do that.
There we are. Cheap bikes, all about having a good time. Thanks, Alex.
Cheers.
The Christchurch City Mission. For over 100 years, they've been supporting Cantabrians in times of need. And now, more than ever, they need us.
Well, he hasn't been there for 100 years, but he certainly has been leading the team. Michael Gorman joins me now, City Missioner. Does it feel like 100 years sometimes, Michael?
Sometimes does, but I love the job. It's great.
Yeah, and we can see that and your passion for it. Very exciting. This week in Canterbury, of course, it's the Canterbury Show Week, Cup Week. You're going to be at the show this year.
We are. A bit of a departure for the City Mission. We're going to have a thing called Construction, where people make sculptures out of food cans. And at the end of the project, we get the food cans. So that's really good.
So So picture paint it for us. We come along with our goods, do we?
No, in fact, there are teams of people who have agreed to take part, and they come along in very strict rules.
Oh, is it really?
They're not allowed to use glue and there's certain things, and they're not allowed to damage the labels of the cans. And the theme is once upon a time. So they can create fantasy scenes or whatever. They make the sculptures, then the public are invited to vote for the sculpture they like best. And there's a wee bit of a kick in this because it needs a gold coin to vote. And so we're hoping people will come along, vote for their favourite sculpture with a gold coin. Then the mission gets the gold coins, but it also gets the thousands of cans that have been used to make these sculptures.
So you're raising funds and you're entertaining us at the same time, Michael.
We hope that people will love it. It
Yeah.
really is a lot of fun.
It's very clever indeed. Now, Michael, I don't know about you, but this whole retro thing has come around, and your opportunity shops could be a perfect opportunity to refurb a home. You've got some wonderful stores, haven't you?
Yes, we've got 8 stores throughout Christchurch and at Rangiora, and they are great places to get a bargain. But also, they're a place that is safe and accepting for people. And so, you know, it's a double whammy really. You're not going to get any pressure to buy, and you're going to be able to buy very economically interesting retro and other goods.
So if we do, say for instance, unfortunately we've had maybe someone pass in our family and we have an estate and we're looking at items to actually give to the City Mission, how can we arrange that?
Well, you just ring us at the City Mission and we'll help you. We've got a truck that comes and collects the bigger items. But people can also just donate the small things, like you might have decided that you want to get rid of a couple of jerseys or shirts or whatever. So we welcome the big, the furniture, and the small things as well, those dusty household ornaments that you don't want, that somebody else might love.
Now, I'll be the Grinch, you don't have to be, but you also want clean and quality items. You don't want the rubbish at the end of the day, do you? You want some good quality items there for the people that will be accepting.
Well, that's right, because if we have to get rid of rubbish, that costs us even more money. It's a wee bit unfair. But Christchurch is wonderful, and people are so good, and so we just love the partnership we have with them, really.
And I tell you what, spring cleaning is a good time to get rid of all those bits and bobs and the dusties.
Excellent.
Give it to City Mission. Temporary accommodation. This is an exciting new path for you.
Yes, it is. We've joined a partnership with the Christchurch City Council and a government department to revamp one of our old buildings, and we've turned it into 3 apartments. And these are going to be for short-term emergency accommodation for families. So families can come and stay there for a limited period of time, and we'll work with them to try and find more permanent, safe, healthy accommodation.
And that's hard, isn't it, these days? Especially the affordability part of it, isn't it?
Oh, it is. Especially too for people looking for low-cost accommodation. I think there's enough accommodation up at the higher end, but down at the lower end, it's really, really difficult.
Right, so a big thank you to the Ministry of Business, Innovation and Employment and the City Council. It's pretty wonderful that they come on board with you. Before you go though, we have to touch on Christmas. Christmas dinner, that's a huge part of the year for the Christchurch City Mission. And how are you faring there with items of donation?
Well, we're coming along. We've started the preparation, you know, made all the reservations in terms of getting a marquee, crockery, cutlery, all that sort of thing. And so now we are on the lookout. It's a wee bit early for the fresh food, obviously, but we are on the lookout for pavlovas, plum puddings. We would hope that people would give us lamb, hams, because they last.
All that good
too.
stuff.
Yes.
All that good stuff that we love to nibble on. And with regards to help though for the City Mission, for actually serving the food, cooking the food?
Well, we're pretty up to date with that.
Isn't it
People
wonderful?
love to come, and they come for lots of reasons. Some, I mean, they all come because they want to help, but some come also because it might be a bit lonely for them too, and so they've got a purpose to be there, and that's lovely, and we just love having them there.
Well,
and
no
then
doubt.
we love having the people come to take part in the feast as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, no doubt we'll see you before the end of the year. Michael, all the best to you and your family. Good luck with construction. Remember,
you.
down at the show, go down there and give your gold coin. Well done, my friend. Now stay with us because after the break, it is Cup Day tomorrow and we do have the cup here in the studio after the break. See you then.
Town racetrack 10 miles long. Oh, I be. 15 men on the Cape Town track.
Your premier entertainment destination, Christchurch Casino.
Yes, it'll be a very busy place tomorrow. In fact, the whole week, the Christchurch Casino. Joining me now is Brett Anderson, the CEO of the Christchurch Casino. Welcome, Brett. And a very important man tomorrow, Barry Dent, Chairman of Addington Raceway. Welcome, welcome, and thank you very much for bringing that little bevy with you.
No trouble at all.
That's what it's all about, isn't it?
That's
For the race folk, for the
racing people,
for the horsey
that's
people.
what it's all about. Absolutely, that's the ultimate aim, is to take that cup away from Addington tomorrow afternoon after 5:15, fill it up with champagne or something, and then the next day to make sure you've still got it.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, don't do a Sunny Bill and give it away, will you?
No. Oh,
No.
They can give away the miniature. There is a miniature that
there
goes
is a
with
miniature,
it.
is
Yes, and they're more than welcome to give that away. But we ask to get that back so we can go through the same procedure again next year.
You could say it's a well-oiled machine tomorrow with Cup Day for you, Barry, for you and the team. How are things looking for 2015?
2015's looking pretty good, actually, from the perspective of the sales, corporate sales. We've increased the number of corporates that we can have tomorrow. It was sold out in 6 weeks, so it's been sold out for the last 3 or 4 weeks.
It's impressive, isn't it?
Yeah. Lindau Lawn, it's probably sold out overnight.
The world famous.
The world famous
Barry,
Lindau Lawn.
World famous Lindau Lawn.
Is sold out overnight, and so there's only effectively walk-up tickets tomorrow.
And that's the cool thing about it. We can still go along. We may not get access to, obviously, those areas, but it's still a lot of fun.
Absolutely. The atmosphere is the same throughout the whole raceway. You can have plenty of fun in the public area, and we cater for a lot of people in that public area now since the earthquakes, because we don't have the public stand anymore. But we cater for everybody.
As well as entertainment, though, it's very security conscious, isn't it?
Absolutely. You can't run a good event or a famous event if indeed you don't look after people, and you want people to enjoy themselves at Addington tomorrow and on Friday, of course. And so we work with our security people to ensure that the experience that they get at Addington is a top event. It's one of the top events. Yep.
What's a couple of tips we should think about for the first time we've ever been to the Cup? What are some of the things we should think about probably before we get there? I'm not talking about the horse tips yet. I'll get to that in a minute.
Right.
I'll get that in a minute.
Yep. Now, one of the big tips that I would give out is a tip that was given to me on the very first year that I was on the committee 12 years ago, is wear comfortable shoes. For God's sake.
Amen to that.
Amen. The shoes in the fashion stakes are wonderful.
Yeah.
But oh man, at the end of the day,
Well, they're carrying them, aren't they?
Yeah,
the
they carry them,
heels
and the reason
things like
they
that.
carry them simply is because they're so uncomfortable by then.
Exactly.
So wear comfortable shoes and wear a hat, because it's going to be a wonderful day tomorrow. It's going to be 24 degrees out there tomorrow. Yeah, specially organised weather for Cup Day.
Oh, good on you, Barry. And how about for you, Brett? How's it for the team? Because you entertain your clients actually around the casino, don't you?
We do. We start off with breakfast in the casino.
Around Addington, sorry.
Yeah, they start off with breakfast, Cup Day breakfast. We have our own internal fashion parades, best dressed men, ladies, hats, fascinators. We offer bus transport out there, bus transport back afterwards. We probably host on site directly maybe 200-300 of our own guests as well. So it's a great day for us. It's a great day for Christchurch.
And how long is your relationship? And I'm not meaning personally.
11 years.
This is the
11th Cup that
11th
the
Cup.
organisations have been working together.
That's right. And going forth, though, Barry Thomas has stood down from the board.
Yes, he's no longer our chairman.
But he's a racing ambassador.
Yes, we have our own racing ambassador now. Over the week, we sponsor all 3 cups, and it's important that we have that association and also attention paid to the prestige that those cups deserve.
And it is prestige. And just all the tireless hours that goes behind. Because there's a little thing called fashion, but the big thing is about the horses on the day. Okay, we need to get horses. What's your tip for the Cup tomorrow?
Horses? Oh, my own personal point of view. And this is all care and no responsibility.
You'll remember this one.
Smolder.
Smolder?
S-M-O-L-D-A, Smolder.
That's yours?
I think Smolder will win the Cup.
Really?
Yep. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Am I allowed to make one other tip?
Oh yeah.
In a race that's also on the card tomorrow, and the reason I'll tip it out is because simply I've got a share in the ownership of the horse, and it's Tasman Bromac, and you won't get rich. It's trained by Nathan Williamson in Invercargill.
Oh, he must be a great chap, Southlander.
Southlander, we're bringing the horse up. He's been to Addington before. He's won a race at Addington earlier in the year, and Tasman Bromac's in the race before the Cup.
Good on you. Well, we need to go, but we will be out there tomorrow. We'll be interviewing Barry Thomas and looking at the fashion and bringing it all to you, all the glamour of Cup Day. Rightio. Have a fantastic Monday. We look forward to doing it all again tomorrow. Take care.